Hello fellow survivors, and welcome to a somewhat different kind of video than I usually do, because we're here to talk about the game Winter Survival. And what I'm going to do is a kind of a review, because I played this game before and I didn't like it, and I wasn't quite sure why, because I tried games like this before and there was always some redeeming quality to it that made me feel it was alright. But for some reason when I played this game I just didn't enjoy it, and I wasn't quite sure why, and I thought I would make a review about it. But instead of doing a review, I think it's easier to just show you why I don't like it, because I think I finally figured out why. There's just something about this game and how it's built that just doesn't make it fun. Now before I hop into it and go talk about this further, I would like to say that, of course, I did get this game for free by the developers, and I appreciate that. And I also appreciate that they tried to make a survival game set in the winter landscape. It's always fun to try something like this, and it's not easy to make a good game, especially when you have games like The Long Dark to compete with, because you inevitably get compared to that. But that being said, usually when I play a survival game that I'm giving early access to, I do enjoy it. And I've been given some games to play that's been very early access, like alpha stage, and I actually enjoyed those games more than this one, and this one is more polished, and there's several reasons why. And let's just hop into a game and you'll understand a bit what I mean. So you got a story mode to this, which I started playing, and frankly I didn't enjoy it. They had a tutorial which, despite being a bit broken, the tutorial was pretty good. I gotta be honest, the tutorial they made for the game was not bad. There were some things that were stupid about it, but it was pretty good. The story was not immersive. It didn't make any sense, the story. Like, you just randomly go on a hiking trip when your pregnant wife slash girlfriend is at home. You meet up with your friend in a cave, and then the next thing you know, you're jumping off a cliff because a bear's chasing you, and it doesn't really make any sense. You start seeing your friend around, and I presume you're hallucinating it. It's just, I don't know, it wasn't really gripping at all to me, so I stopped playing it, to be honest. But then you have endless mode, which is basically survival mode, right? Just play, survive as long as you can. And there's a few things wrong with this thing, because it's not really a survival mode in the strictest of sense, because there isn't permadeath here. Let's hop in, right? And I'll show you why I don't really like it. There are good things about this game too, of course, and of course this is my opinion about it, and my opinion is not better than other people's opinion. Okay, so we're gonna start, and we'll do survivalist, which makes it harder. But you can do it on Explorer and then it'll be a bit easier, of course. Maybe you'll enjoy it a bit more at being easy. Things being hard is not the same as being fun unless you enjoy things being hard. But because I play so many survival games, I like always doing it hardest and then going from that. And then you got this thing, and I don't really get this. It's basically like they're asking, how did you get here, right? And I believe, and then this changes the difficulty, is what I understand. It doesn't really say how, but okay. So I figured, like, we'll just bring it as hard as possible. We'll just choose whichever is the hardest, which is this one. I don't remember. Sickness. Oh, the bear doesn't exist anymore. So I guess sickness. My health is deteriorating. Second hardest, I guess. What's my condition of equipment? It is terrible. And then we got, when did this happen? It happened at night, which is the worst. And how was the weather? Probably snowy. Yeah, that was the worst one. And what does this picture depict? Which, I don't get this. Like, why are these options set? I assume that answering these questions will amend aspects of the difficulty, instead of it being locked like in other games where you have like easy, normal, and hard, or nightmare, that sort of thing. Here it's kind of like you choose hard, but then you adjust how hard it is. But why have that when you can just go to customized instead and then just choose wherever you want, right? I don't see the point of this, really. And then here it's like, what does this depict? So this is not actually a question, because it doesn't matter what you think this is. So this is a Rorschach test, and it can look like where we want. It looks like a brain to me, but it doesn't make a difference. But if you say it's a wolf, then it's easy. Bear is medium. You won't tell me. Then I won't tell is the hardest, and I don't know. Whatever, this one. And then you start, and even though it is survival mode, you do have a kind of a quest to just heal, basically. So you start survival mode on the hardest difficulty in the cabin with a fire already going, so that makes it a bit easier. But you know, that's right, I guess. Depends how experienced you are with the game. And and then it says basically pick up the syrup. All right, so we'll do that. Pick up a drawing, which looks like this. Under the tower, there's like a cave, which is ash in it. Cool. And then we pick that up. And we can also pick up everything in here. We got a bandage, knife, trap, the spears. Take all that stuff. We go on our inventory. We put canteen as number 5. Drink water. Spear as number 1. And we're going to drink this syrup, because that's what the quest says. And then we heal back up. Alright. So now it's just fine syrup, right? Okay, so this is basically it. And now notice that you already start with full trauma. So you're going to have to debuff something regardless. And then you go outside. And it's not the greatest of weather, but... you click Q and you can scan and you get like Assassin's Creed Eagle mode type of thing. You can pick up mushrooms, which you can eat. And you get XP doing this. You unlock some schematics, which was tea. You can make tea. Let's get some water from our canteen. So we want to grab our canteen and we want to grab this. So far this is alright. And we're getting trauma because we're out when it's dark, which is a bit odd, but okay. And then you got different things. You got a torch here. We got some more mushrooms. Then you got some items around, like dollar coin. Doesn't really, not sure what that is for, but we'll figure it out. Not everything has to be for something, by the way. That's okay. A lot of survival games have junk in it you don't actually need. So far this is alright. But then I'll show you what the problem with this. So if you start here, right? Let's pick up some more stuff on the way. Basically want to pick up everything. I don't know what this is for, but we'll figure it out. And we're actually cold here, even though this is the hot springs, but okay. Now the first thing that's annoying here, right? Let's say I accidentally walk into this water. Oh whoops! Oh whoops, I stepped in it. And now, look at my clothing. There's this symbol now on the bottom left. It says the clothes are getting wet. We go into our inventory. And the hat's getting wet. And the jacket's getting wet. And notice how it keeps getting wet. Why does it keep getting wet? Right? It's a bit odd. This one's already fully wet. Let's go back out. See, it's still going. Slowly, but... what else is getting... Well, the pants are getting soaked. Yeah. Well, now it's 6%. So it's like the water is soaking through. So you step into the water and your hat got wet somehow, and your gloves. And they keep getting wet, almost as if the water is like seeping in. But how can it keep getting wet and wet and wet and eventually getting you soaked when you literally just set foot in the water? It's a bit silly, in my opinion. And then further, the other thing is, so you walk along here, right, and you see, okay, we got all this stuff we can pick up. And if you play enough survival games, you know, you just pick up everything. You'll need it for tinder or crafting or whatever, you know, you'll always need this for something. Here's another thing that's annoying. Sorry, there's a lot of things that annoy me with this game. There's this constant background noise of like an angry bear or whatever it is in the distance. It's shouting, you know. And it's always there, and you don't really know what it is. And it's kind of immersion breaking. But here's the thing though, right? There it is again. We get our cabin right there. Okay. Then I decided to do a little exploration. Let's go around here. Okay, doopy-doo. Scan a little bit. Anything here? Nah, doesn't seem like it. Let's look around some more. Anything here? Yeah, we got some mushrooms. And there's something else, like potato, whatever this is. Garlic, okay. And then we decide to, like, maybe there's something down here. Let's go down and check this out. Alright, this is right next to the cabin, mind you, right? Yeah, let's check this out. Okay, let's see anything here. I can't really see anything. Activate modes. Oh, there's like 15 million wolves here. Right. Look how many wolves there are, like right next to you. They're right there as well. And now I gotta try and avoid them somehow. I can't fight them all at once. I can fight one though. Let's try and get out of here. Now they're gonna detect me and I'm gonna run away. At least I think that's what's gonna happen anyway. Okay, looks like I made it out of there. I don't know, why are there so many wolves like right next to the base? It's a bit odd. Okay. Let's head back in and sleep. Maybe see what we can craft based on what it will. Yeah, and the bear or whatever that is still going. And to see my clothes now are still really, really wet. So I gotta dry them. We're gonna put those on here. We'll put crafting. What can I craft? We can craft tinder, birch, branch, brass rope, that sort of thing. And that's everything we can craft. Oh, that's basic campfire. Hot water. You need fire source, sure. Yeah. Let's just do boiling water. Yeah, okay, fine. And then crushed salt. Used to preserve food. Yeah, okay, so that's basically what that is. You need a matching crafting bench. Isn't that here? Okay. Now you know, new schematic. We can make a spear, that sort of thing now. But then, yeah, you need to make more stuff. But then let's this stuff, I don't know what that's for. Is this dry yet? Let's have a look. Yeah, it's all dry. At least it dried quickly. Put those back on. And let's sleep a little bit, right? Because we're warm. This is going to burn for a little while. Let's sleep. Until it's daytime or so. Until before the fire goes out. So sleep for 1 hour. This I like that it says what your condition is going to be after. So if I do this, you'll notice that eventually the heat goes away. So here, after 11 hours of sleep, the heat goes away. So that presumes that the fire died out, right? Now we just want energy to go up to 100, so we can sleep to like here, 5 hours, and then it will be dawn. So this is actually pretty good. We start with trauma, so we sleep. So that means that we're now going to select a debuff. And this system, this trauma system, I gotta be honest that I appreciate the originality of this. At least it's something different, right? At least it's something that I haven't really seen this before. And basically, the gist of this system makes sense. I get it. It's basically that the longer you survive, the more things you encounter, so you build up trauma, right? You got scared, you were in the dark, you were starving, you were thirsty, you were fighting with wolves, you know. So you have gone through a lot of difficult experiences, right? And the strain, the mental strain of surviving for that long triggers these psychoses effectively. By the way, if you're not familiar with my channel, I'm a psychologist by trade. I'm a psychology professor, so that's why I know the ins and outs of this stuff. So this makes kind of sense, right? So if you are not a survivor and you're thrown into this and you have to go through all this sort of stuff, you build up trauma, and that manifests in these hallucinations, like for example hallucinating a deer, or hallucinating stuff like walls or wolves or whatever, right? So that makes kind of sense, but the problem is that first off, it gives you a permanent sort of debuff to the game, which is quite annoying, and it's also annoying to start with it. And also another thing, it doesn't really make sense. So if you click this one, right, sometimes you'll hallucinate basically a skinned deer. Okay, why would I ever try and hunt that? It's obviously not a real deer, right? At least with the wolves, it looks like a real wolf, and then you don't really know until you interact with it. So that makes kind of sense. But you can't really cure it either. I understand that you can maintain it with certain items, but as you become more experienced, these should really deter. I think that maybe something like, let's say you have to have this system and then you can hallucinate wolves. Maybe if you kill, for each wolf you kill, you get more experienced with wolves and they become less scary, and then the trauma goes down and you stop hallucinating, for example, right? You could do that, but instead it's this sort of permanent thing, and it's a bit in the way, to be honest. There's only 5 of them though, but I don't know, it's an odd thing. I don't really know if I like it or not. A lot of people have said in my videos in the comments that they think this is a bit too debilitating. I'm gonna pick the deer one, because why not? Or whatever. We wake up with trauma. Okay, now the fire is going out, but that's fine. We're warm in here. We got we got cabin fever, I think it is. Homesickness, yeah. Okay. But because I wake up in shelter, treatment can't avoid this. Moderately causes trauma. You're homesick. But so you're homesick because you woke up in a cabin that's not your cabin? I don't know. But then here's the thing. So I've been playing this a little bit, and I played some without recording also, and I don't know, I just can't seem to get immersed in this game, even though there are good things about it. So now we gotta find water and that. Okay, so we with first is let's have a drink. And then we have a drink. Okay, that wasn't very much. Drink some more, please. And look, I lose health drinking that. Presumably because it's hot. I mean, I got the water yesterday from a hot spring. It shouldn't take... Why should I take damage drinking this water? See? I don't know, it's a bit silly to me. Maybe if I drank from it, like if I drank from this, or even this, like right away, but sure after some time. But here's the real problem with this. Here's why I don't really like this game. So, there isn't a sense of space in this game. So my cabin is right there, right? And if you, in most survival games, things are spaced out, you gotta travel there, right? But instead you got this massive structure right there, okay? Then you got this structure right there. You got trail and tracks leading up to, there's another structure over there. There's a radio tower right there. And it just isn't very far away. So it gives you a sense that this world isn't very big, or at the very least things are not very spaced out, right? Which is a bit odd. It feels like you're not part of something vast. You're part of something compact, something that is really small, as if you've been tossed into something. And it's a bit odd, I think. They were warming up, at least with the hot springs. So yeah, that's something, I don't know, I don't really particularly like that. It is a kind of game, I think though that the more you play this game, the more you'll probably enjoy it, because you'll master all the little different things, and you'll learn the maps and that sort of thing. It's not procedurally generated, though you get used to it. Then there's another thing here, so the wolves, right? Now trying to hunt the wolf is a bit tricky. Like if you're trying to throw a spear, right? Let's say the wolf is there. That's the wolf. If I throw this happens. Oh wow! Like it doesn't have very good throw. I find that quite annoying in games that have spears. It's similar. There's another game called Northern Lights. That's the same thing. Like you aim somewhere, like, oh okay, I'm aiming there at this rock. You throw it, it lands like there. Like you throw it like a couple meters, you know, like the worst, the weakest arm in the world, right? And that's a bit silly, I think. Northern Lights is a better game than this, by the way. And then, but you can kill the wolves by basically stabbing them with these spears, and it's actually not that hard. If you play on lower difficulties, you don't even need to do it that way. You can just straight up do this, hold the spear down, and then the wolf will just pretty much walk into you, and you'll pierce it, right? If you play on harder difficulties, though, you gotta actually time it, but it's not too hard. You basically just put this spear in front of you, wait for the wolf to move, and then you pretty much do it. You might need a few attempts to get a hold of it, but Let's do that with a wolf right now, and you'll see there's something. Assuming I manage to kill it, you'll notice something else that's a bit silly here. Hey, Wolfie, come over here. Wolfie, 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 come here. Hello. Hello, Wolfie. Fine, do it this way. Okay. He's dead, right? Nope. Okay, wait for it. Wait for it. Step.
Time to find something to drink.
And again. Wait for it. And wait for it. And stop. He must be dead right now, right? Nope. Okay. Wait for it. And wait for it. And stop. Wait for it. Stab. And one more time. Wait for it and come on. Come on. Okay, well this time he got me. I missed the time that one. Alright, come on. A bit hard to time sometimes, I guess. Come on. Ah, okay, I messed up. Doesn't matter though. But notice how many times it needed. Lost 10 damage events. I don't even know what that is. But notice that I hit the wolf with the spear, what, 3 times? And it didn't die. I mean, you're piercing a wolf with the spear and it doesn't die. It's kind of odd. Like, why would it work like that? Okay, great. It's fine. It's a rudimentary spear. It's a stick. But it's a bit much, I think. Like, it's hard enough to do to begin with, and you're still doing it. But here's the other thing, right? You can just load the game, right? I can just click here now, sleep save. And then we'll start back in the cabin. And I can just do this again, right? I can just do it again. You can save whenever you sleep. In any kind of bed, that sort of thing. So now I just do this again, really. I can just go again and I can try again. But even if I kill the wolf, because I killed it in other attempts, you just get wolf meat and pelts and stuff. But yeah, that's about it, really. And obviously, as you play this game more, you get more used to killing the wolf. You get better weapons you can make, and you can make better gear, and you know, things will get easier. Oh, another wolf. And I can also hide from the wolf. Can I hide here? Yeah, so this is another thing that's silly. So, hi, Wolfie. Hi. Can I hit him from here? I don't think so. Okay, but anyway, here, Wolf. Here, I'm right here. Wolfie. Hello. That's it. Okay, come here. Come on. Okay, has he seen me yet? Okay, so. Oh, he's seen me. I go in here. Let's just go into, like, the high grass or whatever. And the wolf is now like, huh? Where'd he go? You know, he doesn't see me. Right? He saw me there because he was too close, but... if you just manage to get far enough away, like if I now run, and I go here, and then I just stay in this grass, right? Unless he gets too close, he will lose track of me. He was a bit too close in the other one.
I should stay hydrated.
See, and now he gives up. And now he gave up, right? So that was easy. You just gotta stay in the grass, right? And now I think, oh yeah, whew, I'm safe. I managed. I don't have any bleeds or anything. I'm cold though, but that's right. Oh wait a minute, I'm a bit dehydrated. Let's have a drink. Let's have a drink. Let's get hydrated here. Yeah, that's good. Get fully hydrated here. Drink, drink, drink. Get nice and hydrated. Oh, what happened? Oh, I guess the water killed me. Oh, I see. Yeah, water's pretty dangerous like that. Yeah. So, I gotta be a bit apprehensive here too. I gotta be honest and say that take what I'm saying so far with a bit of salt. I don't want to fall too victim to the Bojack effect here. The Bojack effect, if you don't know what that is, that's when you judge something before you finish it. It's like reading a book and you give up halfway through, and then it turned on at the end there was this massive thing like, oh my god, it's so good. It comes from the TV show Bojack Horseman, which is a fantastic TV show, by the way, but the first few episodes are really bad, and a lot of people start watching that show and they just don't like it, and then it gets better and better and better and better. And there was a review, I forgot which review it was, they only watched half of season 1 and I think they gave it like 6 out of 10. And then people said, no, but you got to watch the whole thing. And then they watched the whole thing and they changed it to 9 out of 10 when they finished it, because then on the larger scale, when you saw the whole thing, it was really, really good. But if you just saw a little bit of it, it wasn't that good. And this might be the same. It might just be that the more you play it, the more enjoyable it becomes. But I don't know, there's just something about it. I don't feel it's particularly immersive. I'm not too bothered about the weapons and things. You know, this isn't a hallucination, isn't it? Yeah, how do I know that? Is this an hallucination? Probably. No, it's not. Okay. Well.
I should drink something.
But I don't know, it's just a bit silly. You can die from drinking water that's too hot. You know, the wolf fights are a bit silly. The crafting should really be unlocked whenever you get the components. So I think if you have crafting, the best way to do crafting is that either you start with everything unlocked, right? Like in Green Hell. In Green Hell, you can craft everything from when you spawn, except for a few specific items you have to find. Same thing with the Long Dark, except for a few things. Or you have it so that whenever you find a component for an item, then you unlock everything you can use that component for. Otherwise it's a bit boring. Shall we try killing this wolf again, maybe? I don't know. Wouldn't matter. Movable box. Alright, I can move this. Okay. And this carcass here is a hallucination too, I think. Hey Wolfie, don't mind me. Hey, you can attack me if you like, doesn't matter. And ooh. And okay, let's try killing this wolf again for the fun of it. I don't know. Yeah. Gotta time it better. It's kind of hard actually, but if you time it right, you should be able to do it. You gotta watch your stamina meter though. Oh. I lowered it there, you see. That's alright. That I can't manage is not a problem. It just... What? I pierced him right there. Come on, one more time. Come on. Come on. I feel like I'm hitting him though, but I guess I'm not. I guess I'm not hitting him. But that's okay. I don't really mind that. That's okay. Because that's something that's supposed to take... Yeah, I died. That's something that's supposed to take practice. So, ironically, the first time I did this, I actually did it flawlessly. I killed the wolf perfectly. But that I can't manage that, that's okay. Because that's something that takes skill, takes practice, and eventually the wolves will be easier. So that's okay. I don't really mind that. What I do mind is that you need to pierce the wolf like 5 or 6 times before the wolf dies. And even if you fail, you can just go back here, go over here, and then fight the wolf again. Right? And then we're back to it. And I don't know, I don't find it particularly immersive. It's a clunky game, really. I do appreciate that it looks good. The visuals are not bad. And but what I wish this game had was that it was more spaced out, right? So in the beginning I said like you inevitably compare things to the Long Dark. Just because the Long Dark is like the winter survival game. It's so good. There's very few things that are wrong with the Long Dark. Although it's not for everyone, of course. And a lot of people like crafting and that sort of thing. But anyway, my cabin is like right there, and now right over here you have this structure. Things aren't spaced apart. This is hallucinated also, isn't it? Because you had this wall around it. Anyway, so you walk 2 meters and then you're at this massive building that probably has loot in it, right? Things are pretty close. You need an axe. You need an axe to open it, though. That's fine. So you got to find an axe or make an axe, basically. So there's that at least. Or you can just go around, apparently. So yeah, it's a bit too close together, I feel. Moonshine.
Need water.
So, there was something to loot there too, but I'm not too bothered. I'm just gonna take stuff. Oh, you gotta do it like this now. Tanning solution. You know, so the components there are not bad. The nails, fiber, you know. The loot you can get is fine. It's just, the problem is it's not really rewarding because things are too far away. And let's see, if I get up here, what's next? Now we're here. And, do I have the battery on? Yeah, I do, yeah, I have it on here. Battery, flashlight. Oops. Oh, okay, this is one of those where you slide down here. Whee! Cool. And again, oh, another structure. This is all new to me, but I haven't been anywhere here before. Oh, there's the cabin from story mode. That's seems to be burnt down in this case, but you can always just build your own cabin, of course. And then just keep walking and you'll find different things. I'm guessing over here there will be a building. Here's a river. Here it's a little bit more immersive. But yeah. What's this status? I didn't say. Oh yeah, you also have this stuff. You unlock things. So you unlock things to craft, and you unlock them with leveling up, right? So that's kind of okay that you learn different you learn different things from experience, but some of that experience is also things like just looting stuff. So I can level up by just picking up this mushroom, and then I can pick up this grass and these rocks. You know, and now I get more experience from that. There's more experience. I'm fatigued. Okay. And you level up pretty fast by pretty much just looting. That's the main thing that levels you up. And you need to loot a lot of this stuff because you need it for tinder and this and that for rope. I'm dying of cold here, but that's okay. I don't really care. And if you take your time and like learn what all these things are, it's not so bad. But it's just, I don't know, I don't really find it particularly immersive. Oh, that weather changed quickly. Now, in the games like The Long Dark or Green Hell, or pretty much any game that is open world survival, you don't actually have an endgame goal. And I think that's fine. That's how it should be, because you get your own goals. Here you have a goal, which is to find syrup, although I assume that's an optional goal. I don't think you have to do it, but like in the forest, you can just ignore the story mode. And just play survival mode, really. I'm guessing it's the same here, so I think that's alright. Here is hot springs, so I guess I can warm up here. Can we have a drink, or are we gonna die from the drink? Yeah, it's too hot. I assume that's what it means, that it's too hot. Right? So how am I supposed to cool that down? Put it in a thing? I don't know. A bit silly. At least I warmed up a bit. Nice, nice sky. I think that's quite good. Good looking sky. Now here it's a little bit better, like out here. There's less structures, for sure. So this makes it, this is a little bit better. Like it's a bit more spaced out. Find different things. XP. I mean, I leveled to level 3, haven't I? So if I click, oops, escape, go adaptations. See, I leveled up. But the game didn't really say anything. It didn't really say like, hey, you leveled up. You just had to notice that it said 3. And I got this. You don't take that much damage from falling. I wish it did actually say what the next levels are, right? But It doesn't say. It just, you gotta figure it out. And it says how long you got for each level, that's fine. So you can just keep looting the wolf over there. No, it's a carcass, probably an illusion carcass. I can keep looting this grass until I basically level up to 4, you know. We're not far actually, it doesn't take very long. Medicinal herbs. So, loot stuff. Loot more stuff. Ooh. And I died. Again. Now the wolves don't bother me, like I said. It's just, that's just how they work. And the more you play it, the easier they will become. And just like in other games, like most survival games don't have a procedurally generated map. So you just gotta learn the map and where things are, and things will become easier. So this game isn't terrible. It does have things going for it. It's visually good. That wolves are challenging to kill is fine. That you gotta use this method with a spear. Of course, there presumably are other ways to kill wolves. I don't mind that that's hard. But it's just, I don't know, there's something about it. I don't feel very immersed in it. It doesn't feel very inviting. And it feels also very random. Like, I would rather you just dropped into survival mode with no context, right? Nothing like find syrup or how'd you get there, I don't remember. Just like jump straight in. Not some sort of pseudo story, you know, just play it open. And then again, things are not spaced out. They're too close. Everything is too close. So it's easy to get everywhere, aside from that wolves are in the way. But you can outrun the wolves and hide. This is a danger of wolves. Okay, let's just see what happens. Can I outrun this wolf and find someone to hide? Hey, Wolfie. Bye, Wolfie. Let's sprint. Let's sprint. Let's get out of here. Let's see if we can survive this. I don't know if we can. But... oh, wow. That was a complete glitch there. Like, look, I can almost infinite sprint there. By spamming shift. And I crouch in here and... ooh, the whole wolf pack came. The whole wolf pack. And they're like, what happened? Where did he go?
Time to find something to drink.
Nah, probably just the wind. Let's head back, guys. Bye. Alright. And then we're here. Hey, a new wolf. Oh, where did he go? And so on. I do like you can click G. Oops.
I need to find some deeper.
There we are. You get snow, and you can throw the snow to like distract the wolf. Didn't really work there, but you can throw it at crows and things like that. So there are some neat things as well. This game definitely has potential because there are some unique things about it. But everything is too close together. There's too many objects that are just random. You don't really know what to do with it, so you just end up picking everything up and hope it's useful. And it's like, yeah, let's loot all the coins. Sure, it's probably useful somehow. You go in crafting and you just see, what can I do with this? Nothing, I guess, right? Maybe later then? I don't know. You know, you make tea. Sure, you know. You don't really know what to do with the stuff. Or maybe you have to level up to unlock it, you know, and then you gotta level up and loot more stuff, you know, kill a wolf, and so on. And I don't know, it isn't particularly immersive to me. And I'm sure, like around in these locations here, you can find key things like you'll find a hatchet laying around. Is this a hammer? Like, can I pick this up? No, guess not. That'll be too easy, I guess. You got all this stuff laying around, but you don't really know what to do with it, so you end up just picking everything up, hoping it'd be useful for someone in the future. And the wolves are easy enough to dodge, but hard to kill. And you're kind of walking around just aimlessly looking for stuff, and yeah. No, it's good. This is pretty much the whole game, pretty much right here. And you're just slowly dying, but that's alright. You just, you know, there's a lot of food around you can pick up. There's a lot of tinder. There's a lot of this and that, and you can eventually hunt with the traps. You can set a trap for a deer, and you go over and stab the deer. That's not too hard. You just use this trap, place the trap, Now you arm it, then you wait for a deer to show up, and you basically wait. And when it does, you go and like you stab it, and then you got it, right? That's pretty much it. So, you know, easy said than done, of course, but that's it. So, yeah. I think that's it, really. So I decided to do this way rather than a review, just because it would be easy to show you this game, and please let me know what you think. But to me, it's just, there's something about this game that it doesn't feel immersive. Like in other games, like say Green Hell, where you're also in some random forest, at least they feel like you can do something, because you spawn, you can immediately build your base. You can just start building a base and do whatever you want. And there's a few bits and bobs you have to find. Like you have to find, if you want to have a weapon rack to store your weapons, which is, oh hello, which is a boar right there, which by no means is essential. Okay, the boar is after me. Can I get up here? No, I guess not. Can I poke it from here? That would be broken. Go a bit further down. Oh, come on, this will be so funny if this works. This is just so silly. Oh, come on, please closer. This is... What's even happening here? Okay, well, you get the idea. Go in the face. You run away. Okay, I died anyway. Well, you can like do whatever you want. So, but here it's like, you gotta go around and you gotta find stuff, and all the loot doesn't really mean anything to you because you don't know what to do with it. You gotta level up to unlock things, but you don't know when they unlock because it doesn't tell you. Everything is really close together, so the world feels really small, and the incentive to explore isn't really that big because, yeah, there might be some good items, some good loot, or some schematics, but you don't really know. Mostly you just find random items and you think, what should I do with this? Do I need the toy car? Like, can I pick up the toy car? Do I need that? You know, whatever. Garlic, sure, let's use that. And I don't know, I don't find it particularly immersive. There are other games that are kind of like this, that sets you in the same place every time, and it's got a small world. Like the start of Stranded Deep feels a little bit like this, but Stranded Deep, even though they also have stuff where you're like, I'm not sure what to do with this, you very quickly discover what to do with it. And in Stranded Deep you can see the islands in the distance, and you kind of set yourself a goal. Let's go then explore, and there's a vast space between the islands, so you got to go there. In the Long Dark, everything is spaced apart, and you got to go out there and face the environment to get somewhere. You know, you'd see this thing far away, you'd see this thing far away, and then that's it. But here there's everything else. The wolves are bit of a nuisance, but they're not terrible, I guess. But the whole combat system is a bit silly, and everything is so close together. Like there isn't any sense of travel in this game. It's literally just like everything is in your backyard. There's a wolf and a bear and a deer and a rabbit, and you just gotta go and get that. It's right there. It's more a question of mastering how to get all of it than any kind of... There's no journey in this game really. And to me that makes it a bit boring, if I gotta be honest. It makes it a bit boring. I tried, now this is the 4th time I've played this game. I only have one video about it before, and I find it really hard to enjoy it. I try to enjoy it, but I just can't. And if the developers are watching this video, because they did give me the code, then I just want to say that the game definitely has potential, and like I said, it's visually good looking. It does have some unique mechanics like the trauma. I don't really like the trauma, but at least it's something different. You got good things you can pick up and use, so the items in the world are good, but there's a very slow sense of direction. You just sort of like, okay, I gotta go around and loot stuff, then what? At least in places like the Long Dark, your only goal is to survive, and everything you pick up has a use in some way. and it will say that you can eat this, and things are simple, right? You either are thirsty or hungry or tired or cold, which is the same here, but you get the trauma things all the time of like, oh, there's a wolf, I'm scared, okay, trauma. I think it could be improved vastly. I think that the trauma system could instead be something you master. So maybe you start with trauma that gets worse. For example, if you fight a wolf but don't kill it, or if you encounter a wolf and run away, you develop wolf trauma. Or when you kill a wolf or distract a wolf, you reduce the trauma, right? If you go into a house and loot it and there's nothing there, you get like this psychosis thing where you hallucinate things or whatever. You spend too much time indoors, you start hallucinating things that aren't there, but then you go outside, this goes away. You can do that so that you get a feel of mastery, almost like you start with a kind of handicap that you can then conquer by mastering the game, right? That will give you a sense of purpose in the game, and I think that will be much better. I also think that the crafting system is not bad, because you can craft, you know, campfires and bedroll, and it says what you need for it, and it's not too hard to find these things, so that's fine. But I think it really should either give you everything you can craft right away, or tell you that these things are available to craft, but you gotta find the schematic, and the adaptations should really tell you what you unlock going forward. I can't see how many levels there even are, and I would like to know what to do, because then I can see that, oh, level 10 is when you unlock, you can make yourself an axe, and then I know that I can use the axe to break down these walls I can't access, instead of going around looking for an axe. See what I mean? And all of this will make it a bit more immersive, and it will give you personal goals. It will give you personalized goals. Okay, I want to get to level 10 because then I can get the axe, and then I can get to this building. Instead, it's sort of like, okay, there's a locked door, I don't know how to get in there, I need an axe. Okay, I guess I gotta go find an axe. Could be anywhere. Can I be bothered to go and look for it? No, I don't care, you know. But instead, you have a sense of direction that way. So all those things would make it better. The wolves, I think that killing them with this method here is fine, at least with the spear, but it shouldn't take 1 billion hits for the wolf to die, or at the very least it should be like random, like it take between 1 and 5 depending on the wolf or something like that. Yeah, and it's also similar to a game called Northern Lights, which in the early stages had it so that the animals were too resistant. You throw a spear in the head of an animal and they survive, right? Which is a bit silly. Adrenaline rush. So for example, this deer, can I sneak up on this deer and shoot it in the face? That's an hallucination right there. This deer, you can hit him there in the face. Right. Go away, Wolfie. What's with this radio thing also? Okay, guys. But I don't really mind that the wolves are difficult, that's fine. But it's a bit silly. In Northern Lights, the survival game, you could throw an axe at a rabbit and you would hit the rabbit with an axe and the rabbit would survive. And you're like, what? Why? And here it's kind of the same. You throw a spear and nothing happens, right? Nothing happens. The animal dies if you hit it enough times, but that's it. So this, here again, like this is hallucination. This one, you can see this kind of glimmer around it. Well, so this is obviously not real. We can kind of tell if you look close. This one is real. And if I hit the deer, like fine, it doesn't die in one hit. That's fine, you know. It's blunt. The spear isn't sharp enough or whatever. You know, who cares? But it should at least have an effect. Like now it's bleeding, or it's limping, or something, right? Something. But instead, it just, oh, I took X amount of damage, and then you got to do it again until it dies. And it's just a little bit silly, I think. This guy's stuck. Was this an hallucination? I don't know. Let's find out. The hallucination? No, okay, it was an hallucination. Thanks. So how many... Oh, wow. I ran out of spares, so now I have to re-equip the spares. Maybe now the spares, you know. You can't have it like a slot. No matter how many you got in there. Look at this. And now I gotta put them in again. Alright, so... Okay, there we are. Hey, I killed it there. Hurrah for me. That wasn't broken at all. How can I access this there though? It's in the water. Can I even harvest this there? I don't think so. Hold to wash. No, I want to harvest. I guess I can't get it then. Oh, what do you know? My clothes are wet. What do you know? But yeah, so it would have made more sense that there is then like bleeding and it runs away or whatever, you know. And also you saw how silly it was. Like when I throw both my spears, so I bound now the spears to 1. So I click 1 to get the spear up. I throw it. Oh, sorry. Oh, you have to actually, there you go. And then I throw the other one. And now I'm out of spears. I click these. And now number 1 doesn't work anymore. I have to again manually assign it to number 1. And then I can do it. This is also silly. Little things like that. So yeah, all of this makes the game a bit annoying to play. You feel like you have to work against the game to actually achieve what you want. And you can't be bothered to really figure out how to kill the walls because it's too hard. So some of what I said might come across as a little bit harsh. Remember also that there isn't permadeath in this game. Maybe they will add permadeath. I think that the cold wave mode that they are going to add is permadeath, I think. But because there isn't one, you can just save the game whenever you want and progress. So it's not there isn't much risk. It's just like in the recent game, The Pacific Drive, which arguably isn't a survival game. You can never die in the game. You just lose your gear. So there isn't any kind of real risk in the game, really. You can just save it. And if you're out there looting a bunch of stuff, you can just make a shelter and save the game. So that's it, really. So yeah, I mean, this game is still technically in early access, or it's just recently launched, and there's a bunch of stuff they're going to add. So it's not a finished game, really. And you got to give them the benefit of the doubt, just like when The Long Dark was released in 2017. And that's 7 years ago. And look how much The Long Dark has changed in 7 years. Massive updates, massive changes. And things are never good in early access compared to what it will be later. Things always get better. So I will give the game the benefit of the doubt. That I think that I get the impression from the developers that they want to improve the game. Because in fact, when I first played this game, if you went to refill your canteen in the water, you would get wet clothes from doing it. You would actually... I'm drinking now, so I died, I guess. You would get wet clothes from filling your canteen, which is stupid. But then I think the developers noticed that, and they changed it so you don't have that anymore. So I think the developers are actually listening, and they do try to make a better game. And I think that they want it to be good. So I'm going to give the game the benefit of the doubt and say that I think the game will be better later. And in the future I might come back to it and give it a try and see if they polish some things out. And then maybe it will be a pretty good game, because it definitely has potential. The trauma system is definitely something different, and I gotta give them points for creativity there. The way it works is not particularly useful, it's kind of pointless. And the way that the world works is a bit silly. Everything is too close. It's easy to find wood and all that stuff. It's hard to become immersed in it, really, because things are too compact, too close together. There's too many items, you don't know what to do with. You don't know what benefits there are to leveling, and you can't really build a base until later anyway. So it's hard to motivate yourself to keep going, other than to force yourself to get a sense of mastery. But I kind of feel like, why should I bother? And some of that comes from the fact that I've played a lot of survival games, and games like The Long Dark, you have this sense of immersion because the game is vast, spaced out, and you get relaxed playing it because you are alone in this desolate world surviving. But here it's like you're thrown into an abandoned town almost with wolves in it, and you just gotta explore it for some reason. And you don't really have that immersion in this game, but that might come later. But again, like there are good aspects to it. There are some things that are good about it. And I think that a lot of the bad things about it can become good things. A lot of the things that are silly, like, you know, an animal being bugged or the tutorial being bugged out and this and that, you know, they will be polished in time. So I'm sure that if I come back to this game a year from now, I will like this game more than I do now. And I also think that the developers need credit for what they're trying to do, and they're trying to be creative. And it does seem like they listen to the community, so I think that they will make an effort to make the game even better. But as it stands right now, it's just one of those games where I just feel like I don't really feel like playing it, really. I played like really early access survival games that are really crude, and I enjoyed those games much more. Like, for example, No Man's North, where you just drive your RV around, and then you can hunt and you can loot, and you have a kind of a goal to get to this radio tower. I thought that was really fun because you're driving, you're checking things out, you're repairing your RV, you have a dog companion, you have an end goal, you have the means to kill a wolf if the wolf appears. So I killed the wolf on my first attempt just because I could, and it wasn't punishing, but I could make it more punishing if I wanted to. And then you have games like Stranded Deep is punishing in the beginning, but if you don't know how to cure certain things. But you have end goals, but you can see that you want to explore the other islands, which makes it more immersive. And you have things that your afflictions are generally easy to cure, so you get a sense of mastery pretty fast. Then you have things like Green Hell, where you are also in an open world with no goal, but you can build everything right away, except for some things that are non-essential but helpful, like the weapon rack and that sort of thing. But you can build a massive base right away, and that makes it kind of fun. You have games like Subnautica, which is more exploration based, but so there it's not so hard to survive, but you have this immersion that you're in this alien world, load of stuff to explore, and it's just really cool to build a base and just feel like you can understand the ecosystem. So all of these games, even they're all different, they have something going for them, some immersion that makes it fun to be in the world, whether it's exploring or building a base or just conquering the environment. Here there isn't really that. I don't really feel like there is anything to conquer or immerse myself into. It's pretty much just learning your neighborhood and then eventually polishing how to hunt wolves and animals. And yeah, I guess that's it. Like in the long run, as you level up and you unlock more things and you can build a base and things get polished, you know, it will be a bit more fun. Yeah, it will be. So like I said, a year from now, this game will probably be more fun than it is right now. But right now, it's not that fun, at least for me. Based on all my experience playing all these different survival games, which inevitably means you have to compare it to them, which is not fair, of course, for the developers, because if I hadn't played any survival games, maybe I would like this more. But the point is that it's missing a sense of identity. It's missing an essence that makes it really enjoyable. Some of the problem is in just the name. Like, it's called Winter Survival. Why is it called Winter Survival? All games about winter survival is a winter survival game. Why is it such a plain title? It's kind of generic, which makes the game feel generic. They should have called something else. Like, if you click here, start game, Cold Wave. Why didn't they just call the game Cold Wave? That would be a better title. It doesn't have to be called that, but Cold Wave that sounds like a decent name for a game. Call it that. Cold Wave, a winter survival game. There you go, fixed, right? And then if you really wanted to, you could add like blizzards to the game, which is the Cold Wave. And when those hits, almost like 7 Days to Die or whatever the game's called, you gotta have a lot of wood to burn out the cold or whatever. See, so it's got all this potential. It's just that it doesn't really have a sense of identity. It doesn't really have a factor that makes it immersive. And that makes it not fun to play. And it needs to fix that. It needs to have an identity, a theme of sorts to make it fun. But also my thoughts, so a lot of it comes across as negative, but that's just my opinion. If you like the game, please tell me what you liked about the game. And if you didn't like it, it's the same thing. And please say what you feel about it. And if you play this game a lot, then definitely I want to hear what you think about it. Like, does it get better the more you play it, that sort of thing. And this is just what I think, but it definitely needs some work before it's enjoyable. With all that being said, though, thank you to the developers for giving me this game and trying it out. I do appreciate that, and it's nice to be involved in those sort of things. And I do have high hopes for this. I think that this game could be good, and I am up for trying again another time. But at the moment, I feel like I'm forcing myself to play it, and I'm not enjoying it. And that could be just me, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's all of us. Let me know what you think. So yeah, so that's Winter Survival for you. That's my review, if you want to call it that. I guess it's more analysis. Analysis/rant by a veteran survival gamer. And that's just how I feel about it. And I want to like this game, and I think maybe I will like it more later. But at the moment, I just don't really like it. It has too many things missing. It's not that the game has a lot of things wrong with it, and in the sense that the mechanics are bad. It's just that it's missing something to make it immersive. It needs more polish. It needs a wider world. It needs a sense of identity. It needs something that gives you a sense of mastery, and that sort of thing. And I think the trauma system, especially, that could help if you had a way to master the trauma. You know, the wolf example is a great idea. You see wolves, or you encounter wolves where you survive. You get trauma, which triggers wolf hallucinations. But if you kill wolves or distract them, you can conquer the trauma and then maybe even do more damage to wolves, or maybe the window of piercing wolf with the spear becomes wider, or whatever, right? And that will give you a sense of progression, a bit like the levels in the Long Dark. So yeah, this is a lot of potential. I know I'm repeating myself a lot. It's just that when I do these sort of things, these analyses, I don't like to have notes. I just like to free roll. And that's just how I feel about it. Let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have an option to play this game yourself. There is a demo for it, so you can play it for free, limited. And please let me know what you think, especially if you disagree, but also if you have the same experience as I do. And hopefully I'll come back to this game another time, and hopefully I will like it, because I do want to like it, but I just don't. But anyway, enough ranting, enough over-analysis, enough repetition. Let's call it a night, and rename this game Cold Wave. Alright, survivors. Bye bye.